So if you have decided that you want to prepare for the coding interviews of top tech companies in the world like Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple, Uber, Microsoft, and you are just starting out and confused about which platforms to use, where to prepare from, and if you do not know what LeetCode is, or even if you have used it before but you spend hundreds and hundreds of hours trying to solve problems and struggle your way through your preparation journey, so in this video I'm going to tell you the best strategy to effectively make use of LeetCode, which is by far considered as one of the best platforms to prepare for your technical and coding interviews. And also, if you are in this dilemma that whether or not competitive programming is required to clear the interviews of these top tech companies, and can you only stick to LeetCode and make it through, so also we are going to discuss everything related to that topic as well. So I hope you use these tips and strategy to make your preparation journey fun as well as effective. So let's move on to the video. So we know that today there are tons of coding platforms available to practice for your technical interviews like HackerEarth, HackerRank, CodeChef, CodeForces, Topcoders, Podge, InterviewBit, Geeks for Geeks. Which one to choose? There are just so many options. And if you were to ask me, I think LeetCode alone is more than sufficient to crack the interviews of all top tech companies. In fact, this video is not at all sponsored. This is my honest opinion, and I have personally used LeetCode in my preparation journey, and it has already given me the results. If someone comes to you and tells you that competitive programming is mandatory to get into these top tech companies, believe me, it's not at all the truth. In fact, 90% of engineers who are working in these companies have not been professional competitive programmers. And only a handful of companies, like 3 to 4 companies in specific, might ask competitive programming level questions. But I think you'll be pretty well off targeting the remaining 99% of companies for which LeetCode will be more than sufficient for your practicing journey. So this is the home page of the website where we have all the problems listed as well as their difficulty levels. At the top, you can see some of these tabs like problems, mock test, contest, discuss forums, and then this is the basic user interface dashboard overview of when you first visit this platform. Also, you may notice that some of these questions have this lock icon in front of them, which means that these are available only to the premium users who have opted for the premium subscription. And we can actually debate if the premium subscription is worth it or not. But let me tell you, even if you don't have the subscription, most of these questions which are available by default are more than enough to help you master data structures and algorithms for your interviews. Okay, so without any further ado, let's directly move on to the best strategy and my favorite tips to help you use LeetCode very effectively. Alright, so first things first, before moving on to solving problems, you need to get your basics straight, which means you already should be aware of some programming language, no matter which one it is, and also you need to be aware about some basic data structures and their manipulations before actually having to implement them and solving questions on them. So the first thing that I want you to do is use this explore section which is present in LeetCode. So this section basically is a learning resource for all your basic data structures, and if you go to this option which is learn, so you can have these cards for every single data structures, for example arrays, linked lists, binary trees, recursion, binary search, n-ary trees. So let me just open any one of them. For example, let me open arrays for now. So in arrays, they first have this overview. So these are the sections which have different manipulations one by one. For example, introduction to an array, inserting items into an array, deletion from arrays, searching for items, in place operations. And for all of these, for example, let me go to delete. And for deletion, they have this articles as well as questions. So if you open any article, this will give you a in detail description of what an array is and how you delete elements from the end. Then for every single topic, they have these questions along with them. For example, for deletion, you have these 2 questions that you can solve. For insertion, you have these questions that you can solve. So firstly, I want you to go through all these topics if you're just starting out, and this will help you get an understanding of the data structure, their implementations, manipulations, as well as solving some basic easy level questions on them so that you have your grasp strong before moving on to the tougher questions. So there are some questions which do not teach you anything, any new concept, any new topic, but they are only a waste of time. For example, let me open this one random question as an example. So this question is actually a famous question, but in this case, you can see the like and dislike ratio. 8,000 people have disliked it, right? So this thing will probably give you a hint that solving this question is not going to be worthwhile because it's basically an ad hoc implementation. So go over the reviews, the discussion forums. For example, if you go to the discuss tab, people will say certain things about this question as well. This question is wrong, you cannot delete the node, and all of these are comments and reviews about this question. So I recommend going over likes and dislikes ratio of the question and only solve questions which have a higher like ratio. Also, something that would help you is you can make use of this list feature. So they have these predefined lists. For example, let's say top 100 liked questions. So these are questions which have the highest likes ratio by users. So you can go for these ones. Also, they have top interview questions which are asked most often by your fan companies. So you can also solve these ones as well. And also I have some custom list that I've created. So these are a list of questions that I found from some place or other related to company or difficulty wise, and I can share this list if you want. So I have ordered questions according to me which I would prefer solving so as not to waste time on the not so worthwhile questions. So what I mean by leveling up gradually is you need to build up your momentum slowly and eventually you will be able to solve tougher questions as well. But it's important to not get demotivated and demoralized in the beginning itself if you're not able to solve questions. So for this tip, I would recommend you to use this difficulty tab, difficulty filter that they have, and you can select difficulty for each problem. So let's say I only want to solve easy problems first. So this will only give me a list of easy problems. And now what I would want you to do is sort them by acceptance rate. So now these problems are all easy problems which have now been sorted in the descending order of acceptance rate. And what does this 70% acceptance rate mean? So basically out of 100 people who try to solve this question, 70 of them gave a correct submission in their first try itself. which means it might be an easy problem to solve and it's a good candidate if you're just starting out. Again, if you have done most of the easy problems, move on to medium one. Again, sort them by their submission acceptance rate, and then slowly put a few weeks to easy, then put a few weeks to medium, and this is how you're going to gradually improve. Also, you may be able to solve a lot of easy problems in one day itself, like 20, 25 easy problems, but they might not teach you new things. So that is not something that you should be going for. You might just be able to solve one or two hard problems a day, but they will definitely teach you a new concept or a new algorithm or some optimization technique. But then they do take too much of your time. So if your interview round is approaching in the next few weeks, I would recommend you to spend most of your time trying to solve medium level problems, because medium ones are sort of a bang for your buck. And for most companies, most of the questions that they ask are somewhere going to be lead code medium only in their preliminary round or online assessment or phone interview round. Most of the medium problems will have some concepts or combination of concepts taken from easy problems. Similarly, some of your hard problems will have a couple of combination of concepts of your different medium problems. And that is why if you move in a chronological order, you'll be able to solve as well as learn most of them. And the reason I mentioned competitive programming is not necessary is basically for most of the tech companies, lead code hard level questions are more than enough. If you are able to solve almost all hard questions, which is a very big deal to achieve, then you can pretty much clear every coding interview for the top tech company pretty easily. So that's the aim that you should be going for. And this is one of the most important points of using these filters that LeetCode provides in the right manner. For example, we already discussed about difficulty filters. You can sort them by difficulty order. For example, let's say I only look at medium level problems. And then you also have these filters for tags. For example, for different data structures and algorithms. Let's say you're starting out and you only want to start with arrays. So this will give you problems which are only based on arrays and are of medium difficulty. Then also sort them by acceptance rate and solve only the problems which have high acceptance rate. This is how you make use of these filters. Also, if you've already solved some problems, you can go to status and you can check for the ones you've solved or the ones you've attempted but not yet submitted or the ones you have to do. So use these filters in the right way. And this is how you should be starting slow, but slowly eventually moving on to uncomfortable areas and out of your comfort zone. For example, let's say you are solving problems on arrays and strings, which are pretty easy. You probably will never be good at graph algorithms or tries or segment trees, which are advanced data structures. So use these tags and first start with arrays and strings, and then slowly move on to union find, graph algorithms, topological sorting, segment trees, line sweep, rolling hash, suffix array. These are all some advanced techniques and algorithms which you should be moving on at a later stage when you're done with these basic ones. Also, if you're able to solve almost 90% of the medium level problems randomly taken from any particular tag or algorithm, then you can be pretty much confident that you are almost prepared for your coding interview. So the next step that I have for you is probably going to be one of the most important ones if you use it wisely, which is to avoid using the submit button unless you're absolutely sure. And what I mean by that is, let me just open any random problem, for example, burst balloons, and you have these run code and submit buttons. What I would want you to do is only use the run code button for as long as possible to check for different test cases until you've handled all your edge cases, corner cases, and considered all cases for inputs like negative numbers, integers, decimals, empty array, empty list, all long values, all these kind of inputs. And if you're practicing for your interviews, submitting multiple times until it gets accepted is not going to be a good habit in the long run. In fact, on a lot of these weekly contests and competitive programming contests, they have penalties for wrong submissions. That is only to avoid submitting unless you're absolutely sure of your algorithm. So you can try for different test cases here. You can change your array to some different numbers if you want and check if your code is working or giving the right output. You can try run, but only use the submit button when you're absolutely sure that this will pass all the test cases. And my next tip for you guys is to make use of this discuss tab very wisely. So what is this? Basically, when you submit a question, or even if you're not able to solve this, you can go to the discuss tab. So as you know, LeetCode is a community of users from across the world. There are millions of users. So here they communicate with one another about their solution, about different possible approaches to a question. If someone does not understand something, you can ask away your doubts and people will reply to your thread. For example, if you are not understanding the solution to a question, or if the solution is not available anywhere, you can simply go to the discuss tab. For example, let's say you use C++ and you want a solution in C++. So just write C++, and this will give you the most relevant or most voted solutions for C++. So I can clearly see that this is the best solution that they have for C++. And if I open this, so you can see that this guy has explained the entire solution in detail about the algorithm, then with pictorial depictions. So this is how, even if you were able to solve a question, I would still recommend going through the discuss tab once, because there might be a better approach or a better algorithm to that question, which you might not be aware of. And this is how you can get to learn new techniques, which in the long run are going to be really helpful. Also, one more point is when you have submitted a solution, you can click on this details tab, which will give you a brief overview of your submission. So for example, for this submission, this shows you a complete bar chart. My memory usage beats 89% of the solutions, which is pretty nice. About runtime, it beats 87% of the solutions. So you should be aiming for somewhere around 90% if you have the most optimized algorithm. So if you continue this habit of going through the discuss forums once for every question, once you've submitted it, you will definitely learn a lot in the long run, as this is going to stretch your thinking skills and definitely going to make you a much better problem solver. And this is by far one of the most important points for me, at least in my personal opinion, which is to always try to simulate real interview environments. Because you must have heard this a lot about some of your friends who are really proficient at problem solving, but probably did not make it through a coding interview. And this is probably because they got nervous on the day or at the time when they were interviewing within that 45 minutes to 1 hour duration. And for that, the best strategy that I have used, which is what I would recommend you guys as well, is of course to first of all never use the submit button unless you are absolutely sure, because in a real coding interview you won't be able to submit and make changes to your solution every now and then, again and again. Also, have a time bound practice. What I mean by that is, if you're solving a new question, let's give 30 minutes. 30 minutes is generally considered as the ideal time. 30 minutes to derive a solution or come up with a solution to that. If you're not able to come up under 30 minutes, then I recommend you to actually look at the solution or look at some hints which are given for every question to try to think in the right direction, because in an actual interview, you get to solve one question in around 30 to 40 minutes. So that is what you should be simulating time bounded practice, which brings me to one of the most important features that LeetCode has to offer, which are these weekly contests that are basically an exact replication of your coding interview or your online assessment. So if I just open these, so you can see that these are contests which are held bi-weekly and weekly. So every month there will be around 2 to 3 contests, at least once a week or once in 2 weeks. So I recommend, if you're already done with most of your preparations and your theory part, definitely try solving these contests as well. So every week try to give at least one contest. So these contests generally have 4 questions to solve, one easy, 2 medium and 1 hard. And if you're able to solve at least 3, 1 easy and 2 medium within this 1.5 hour, so you're definitely pretty well prepared for your interview. Also, to simulate the interview conditions for your specific company, you can head over to the list and select the top coding interview questions for example, Google questions. And this will give you a list of all the questions that have been asked by Google recently in their interview rounds. Similarly, for Facebook, Amazon, you might require a premium subscription to have these question list. But if your interview is approaching in the next few weeks, then you can try to solve the questions which are specifically asked generally by that specific company that you're applying to. So what I mean by stop wasting time and efforts is, let's say you're solving a hard problem but you're not able to come to the solution, and you spend hours and hours, an entire day on that problem. So that is not really efficient. So what I'd suggest is, in case hard problems are wasting a lot of your time, so again, migrate back to medium problems, solve a few of those, build confidence, have consistency, learn a few new techniques, concepts, and then slowly every now and then come back to 1 or 2 hard problems. And this is how you will efficiently improve in the long run. Don't waste more than 1 hour only on one problem. If you're not able to solve it, instead look at the solution, learn something new, learn a concept and try to apply it. And this is how you will slowly be developing this habit of converting any idea, any thought into a bug-free implementation or bug-free code in the first run itself. So one very important thing is, do not ever memorize a solution for any problem whatsoever. Like, let's say there are some hard problems which you know are very famous problems asked very frequently in all companies, but still you're not able to understand the solution, how it works. So some people, what they do is just memorize the entire code and just spell it out when they're asked. So this is actually going to be disastrous in the long run. You might get lucky in a particular interview round. A lot of these top tech companies ask follow-up questions to some question that the interviewer asked. For example, there is a question that you've memorized, which is a hard one. Now they'll ask you to do the same thing in constant space. And this is something that you won't be able to come up because you memorize a solution. So never ever kill your chance of going through an interview only because you memorize a solution. Instead, give it time and learn some new concepts and approaches. Now this brings me to one last tab or section that I have not discussed, which is this discuss section. So if I just open this, so here you will find a lot of these different tabs about interview questions, interview experiences, compensation, career, and general discussion. And this is also a really helpful place. So I would recommend coming to this particular page only after you have solved most of the questions and you're pretty comfortable with data structures and algorithms. So you can search for a company. For example, let's say you're applying to Google. So you can search Google, and let's say you can also search for a role. For example, let's say you're applying for software engineer 3. So you can search for software engineer 3 at Google. And this will give you all the interview experiences for people who have applied for L3 positions at Google. So here they've already mentioned that these were the questions that were asked in the interview, and this is how you can prepare if you're approaching a particular interview. Also, you have this tab for interview experience. So this is also one of the most important tabs. This will give you a complete round by round process of the different questions that were asked. For example, let's say I want to apply for Facebook in London, and this is all I have to write. And this will give me all the interview experiences recently for Facebook at their London office. So you can see that they have mentioned everything, the year of experiences, current position, what was asked in round 1, in round 2, round 3, similarly for the entire process. Then you also have this final tab for compensation. For example, if you're wanting to know what compensation is offered in a particular organization for a particular role and experience, so you may go through these lists. So yeah, this discuss section will definitely come in handy when you are just approaching your interviews and you're done with your preparation part. So yeah, this kind of brings me to the end of all the tips. Just a few more points before we wrap up. So do understand that there will never be a specific number of questions or fixed set of algorithms or list of questions that you can solve and just be completely ready for any interview. There's no real fixed magic number that's going to always help you. For example, you can see that on the date that I'm recording this, there are almost like 1700 problems on LeetCode already available, and new problems are added every other week. So there might be 2000, 3000. We don't know how many problems, and no individual actually solves all these before their coding interviews. So you need to make sure that you target specific topics which will give you the most result in the limited time. And please don't expect unrealistic results. just when you're starting out. This is something which takes a lot of time. You can't just master data structures algorithms in one day or 1 week. That's not how it works. You have to give it months and months of dedicated practice and consistency. If you are consistent with this and use this platform using these tips that I've mentioned, then there's absolutely no way that anyone can stop you from cracking any top product-based tech company. Before I wrap up, just a small update about my channel. So I keep on solving a lot of these coding interview questions that are here on LeetCode. I explain the entire algorithm as well as the coding part, and you can check my playlist. It must be showing somewhere over here in the card, and you can go over them if you are preparing. I think it's going to be really helpful to you. I solve all the medium and high level questions and make them very easy to understand even for beginners. And if you are new to my channel, then please do consider subscribing to it and share it with your friends who may benefit from this content. And I keep on posting videos regularly every week. And if you have any suggestions or topics for videos or any questions that you may want to ask, feel free to put them down in the comment box below. I always make sure that I go through every single comment. So I hope this video helped you in some way or the other in being able to use this platform in a more efficient and effective way. And I wish you all the best for your future and hope you crack all your interviews that you appear for. And thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you very soon in the next one.